Hey there, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. Today, we are going to take a look at the Boss Space Echo RE-202. What's best to check it out than the Roland MC202? So I got this on loan from my friend at Artist Audio, a very cool music shop in Lyon, where I bought most of my gear when I was living there. And I kept in touch with them. And this year they are going to send me a few stuff so I can demo them to you. So let me first run you down all the functions of this pedal. I will start by just messing around with everything we have at hand. Later I will check the manual for hidden functions. So first of all, if you want to hear this thing, you have to turn on either the echo volume or the reverb volume. Let's start with the echo. Now we can hear it. Just a little, I think I'm in the line mode here, but you can choose guitar or line level. Now, I could decide to change the repeat rate by this knob or via the tap tempo over there. So this is the classic way, let's say, or it works well enough. If you touch again the repeat rate, it will disable the tempo you've tapped. Okay. Cool. It does sound pretty good. No echo, echo. And of course turn it on off like this. Then we have the reverb, which by default is the modeled after the spring reverb of the RE-201, the original Space Echo. Like this, it sounds pretty good. Now let me just edit that sequence a little bit. Just gives a little bit more life to this. Let me also enable the filter accent thing. Okay, this is something where I can hear a bit more of the repeats. Now we have the intensity, which is the feedback. Feeds the echo back into itself and creates this bed of repeats that everybody likes. It can quickly get out of hand, and it's not very nice when it's too much. We have also EQ control over the echoes. Which can, we can change the character of the repeats quite easily. It's important to note that it doesn't affect the reverb though. Also, we have a saturation control, which changed the level of the echo and reverb quite a lot. It's actually only applied to the wet signal. I do quite like the sound of it. I like to hear saturation on the synth sound with a lot of resonance like this. Let's max it out. That sounds very good. The only regret I have here is that it also brings the levels up quite a lot. But anyway, then we have the wow and flutter, which simulates mechanical failure of the band or of the mechanics of the tape machine. So it introduced some pitch stuff. It's maybe easier to hear it like this, yeah. So let's go for normal. I will make a longer sound. This is no wow and flutter. So it's like boo. Okay, then we have this, which is most of the fun of this unit, the head selector. So depending on which head you select, you get a different time division based on your tap tempo or repeat rate. And you can combine some of those, and it's indicated over there which ones are selected. And you get a lot of nice rhythmic effects out of this. It works as well with sequenced material or with played material. Let's go with the longest sound. Really like the wow and flood thing. Okay. This one almost sounds like a reverb on its own. The white line over there indicates the fourth head thing, which was not on the original. One other thing is that the tape age. You can choose between new. Let's go with the brightest sound. Let's go with a very bright sound with. So yeah, it's basically another EQ curve. I like the aged one, like this. You can, of course, tweak this while things are happening. I do quite like it like this. Full on echo, lots of reverb, and let's make it extremely dark, extremely bassy, full-on saturation. Makes you want to write an ambient album. And then we have those two things. If you hold this, it will go on a mega self-oscillation madness. And here it will loop things. There's quite a lot of effects to do with just this, which can be fun. I mean, especially when you have this not controlled by hand, I guess. So here we are for all the basics. It does also sound pretty good on drum machines when cranking the gain input. Instant industrial dub vibes in there. You can get a more hi-fi version by changing the tape age and make everything more buggy with the wow and flutter. Removing the bass boost gets rid of the brrr. But I quite like it actually. Disable the reverb from there as well. Okay, here's a new little thing I wanted to show. I went into the menu of this thing, which is done by maintaining this tap button when the pedal is off, and you light it up and you get access to a bunch of different stuff like alternate reverb types that are not very nice. I prefer this original one. But what I wanted to check was mostly about the saturation, the preamp stuff. So as we've seen before, we have the dry signal plus the echo or reverb, but the saturation was only affecting the reverb and echo. And what I've chosen here is to have the modeled preamp active all the time when you're plugged into the pedal, even when it's off. You can have it to be active only when the pedal is on, but I prefer this behavior because now what you can do is to turn some echo, which you can't hear because the pedal is off, put some intensity, high one, and then just press this when you need it. Same with the reverb. I like this for the most dubby part. And I like that the echoes are still continuing even when the pedal is off. This is why the preamp stuff is important here, that if you choose, because you can choose to have it only when the pedal is on, is that you have a clean sound, and then when you press it, suddenly it gets distorted, plus echo, plus reverb, which is something you might want, but I don't like it with a drum machine like this. But I like this. But the treble and bass still only get applied to the echo, not to the overall tone of the thing. Fun. Now, in order to check the true stereo part of the pedal, I've made a patch here with my Buchla and Tip Top 200 series system, the Buchla suitcase. Thanks to this mini mix here, I have a very stereo mix. So we can hear that if we send something on the left, we get repeats on the left. If we send something on the right, we get repeats on the right. Center, center. It works pretty well. Let's patch a few stuff. I'm manually changing the pitch of the oscillator and just sending in stuff and see or they get ridden in here. It's quite fun. I was using it as a looper that degrades over time. That's fun. Oh, I've killed it. Because it deactivates the type tempo when you touch this. Which is a bit of a shame, but anyway. Okay, this was fun. Okay, for this last part of this video, I will use it in a dub way with Mixing Desk. You have to go to the menu with the infamous tap hold while powering this up, then go to 8, and there's a menu where you can kill the dry signal. So here I have just one mono aux send that goes into the pedal, and it's going back on this stereo channel. So what I have going on right now is you can hear it already. So I have the clap here going into it, the cowbell as well. Here I have the rest of my 808 beat, but I can send it whenever I want. I like this. There's also, on this console, each send can be pre or post fader. If you go post fader, you can send it even with the fader at 0 or with the track being muted, which can be fun sometimes. And I have a few other tracks that I can send this to. And one of the cool things with this is that you can EQ the effect and make it way brighter with less bass, which will affect the reverb, as this does not. Then you can play with this. Just use it as a reverb if you want. Just stripping a bit with the EQ and the clap channel. Just another little trick I forgot to mention earlier is that using this kind of setup, you can feed the pedal back into itself from the aux, which can lead to a different result. So let me play back again. So here the feedback is controlled by the intensity knob. Okay. Which has a lot of internal processing, I guess. Now, as my track is here, let's put the EQ back at 0. If I use aux number 1, wrong channel. You can hear, because there's the reverb. So it does that reverby feedback. If you kill the reverb, it will just feed back the echo. Difference of this that it will go through the preamp and the bass and treble setting and the EQ here. Every time it goes back. You can see the effect is quite different. It will start to oscillate with the reverb, which I kind of have to admit that I like this effect, especially with big compressor on top to make it duck. Just like this is also, I mean, it's a different way of tripping with this. Just be careful with your volume. And one more thing. If you have a mixer like this one that has a tone generator, it can be fun to use it. Mine is broken, so it's even more fun. Just like doing stupid stuff like this. You can do both feedback at the same time, which will lead to crazy self-oscillation like this. And that's it. I guess it's a pretty good pedal for a lot of situation. It does sound quite good. I just ate the menu things. That's the only thing I have to say about it. Thank you, Artist Studio, for sending the pedal in for a try. I will give away the little live set that I've used for this. Basically, it was just routing audio from live into the console and then playing around. I don't think there's much more to say. It's a funny thing to interact with. I ended up not trying the full MIDI CC thing. I haven't found the CC chart on Boss website. So I guess anyway, if you really want to automate everything, I guess it's better to use a plugin. This one is fun because you can interact with all its parts. That's what makes it fun, I think. And I mean, it's cool that they have added a few options of reverb and lots of tweakability, but I would have wished that it was easier to access than powering down the unit. If you don't have a power block with an on-off switch, it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, that was the only rant I had to say about it. Great pedal. It does look good as well, to me anyway. So thanks again, Artist Studio, and feel free to like this video, leave any comments you want. The French version is on Artist Studio YouTube page, and we'll make a sample pack for Patreon as always, with the little jam included, jam pack included. So yeah, goodbye. See you next time.